Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 gameplay and deck tech video on Esper Human Hero. Now, the Esper Human Hero is a combination of a couple of archetypes. We have the old school Hero of Precinct One from metas of long ago that cares about multicolored creatures. We also have a little bit of the human payoff, since Hero is both a human herself and makes humans. We have hero payoffs in the form of like Thalia's Lieutenant and your general Kudros of the world. We also have just generically good kind of multicolored humans. And besides those multicolored humans, we just run a slew of sort of interaction that is multicolored in variety. We have Obscura Charm and Void Rend from the new set. And we also just have generally other good multicolored cards. Land base, relatively simple, running some Triomes and Shock lands, and a little tiny slew of utility lands. And that's about it for the main deck. Quick note for the main deck, you see these lands being weird. These are the ukiyo-e Japanese woodblock art style lands that I really love. But with the most recent update, these got borked, and I don't want to bother changing them, so just bear with that. Now, sideboard, relatively self-explanatory. Standard slew of just kind of silver bullet cards. Disenchant for obvious artifact or enchantments. Thalia, another human, which is nice, and also just more non-creature hate. Dovin vetoes, again, more non-creature hate. Unmoored Ego is usually for combo decks of the world or particularly annoying cards. Your Kaya's Wrath and Settle the Wreckage are just good sweepers we can run. General Enforcer is good against opposing controlling matchups that are going to have lots of save removal. Same thing for Chromium here. There we go. For Chromium here, who is also just a good anti-control finisher. And that is basically the list. Nothing too terribly difficult. Remember to like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you like my content and would like to see more in its weird grab bag status. And with that out of the way, we'll go on to game number 1. And game number 1 with our little Esper Human Hero list. 3 lands, 4 spells, has basically everything we'd want. Basically a perfect opener. See what our opponent is running. Running a normal sized deck. Okay, some sort of rule stuff. We'll go ahead and try them on 1 since we have nothing to do really anyway. Okay, some sort of just rule aggro, which is fine. Not over the moon about shocking this in, but we kind of need to in order to start generating blockers. Hopefully they don't have a stomp or anything like that. Now, the real question is next turn, what do we do? They could Collected Company, which would kind of suck. And Crop Thrasher also sucks, it has to be said. The question is, does he exert the Crasher? I say, to be honest, it'd be kind of a good play. Alright. We're going to try and avoid shocking ourselves now if we can manage. We'll do... oh, it can't be targeted on their turn, so we need to get rid of the Spellbreaker now, since it can't be targeted, or it has Hexproof basically on their turn. Their exerted Crop Crasher can't attack, so the hero is basically free. We might have to... I mean, we're probably going to need to try and sideboard into a more controlling role, it has to be said. They turn on the Den, which is an option. I'll go ahead and block that. Alright. Now we sort of can't attack even if we really wanted to, has to be said. Guess we go ahead and play the tower and then play a Kudro. Just trying to get as many bodies on board. Since next turn they can exert the Crop Crasher again. 5 mana. They did bother to shock that in, which is kind of telling. See what they do with it. If nothing else, they can just activate the Den here. Oh god, Atarka's command is pretty brutal. Another okay. To be fair, Atarka's Command is a very good card, so I can't even really get that mad. Bring in some Settles, and some Kaya's Wrath. We'll go down a Hero and a Lieutenant, since we don't want our board wipe to kill us as much. Kambal's not that useful here. Neither is Veto. Maybe keep one Veto in the deck. Maybe. Yeah. One thing I did forget to mention in the deck tech video part, or the deck tech part of the video, is that General's Enforcer, besides giving us an answer against the more removal-heavy matchups, also does sort of work as what's the word? As Graveyard Hate. Again, can be very, very useful, and I would not underestimate it. We have a lot of shock lands to be going against a aggressive deck. But to be fair, I haven't run into a very just pure Gruul aggro list in a hot minute, so I can't be too upset. Might as well shock stuff in now. Another white source would be nice for Settle the Wreckage, so we can play a little safer. Oh boy. It's not good. Stop. Just about makes sense. Crap. We literally have to play Kudro and try not to die. Happy to just take whatever trade we can manage to get our hands on here. Unless you have another removal spell, like a strike or something. Get rid of Pelt Collector. You can't have Embercleave. So another Stomp, maybe? But I'll take a 2 for 1. Oh, it's Atarka's Command. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it too. Has to be said. I mean, we'll play the land because it's a land drop. Don't really have the luxury of being too picky. You can afford to eat a Burning Tree for a turn. Oh, that's pretty brutal. I guess Embercleave is probably the more scary. Ah, I need that white source. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. We are going to take some damage from the enter. I mean, to be fair, our opponent has had beautiful draws. Now, hopefully they slow down a little bit. Probably won't, has to be said. Okay, you actually don't do anything. That's sort of telling. Okay, we can just sit and try and control and turn the corner here. We do have a Dire Tactics and a Settle, so we're pretty well equipped to do most things. I mean, that sucks, but we don't really have an option. It has to be said. Another Bone Crusher. Hopefully they attack with 3. I'll happily settle for 3. We're not gonna try and get cute with it. We're this close to dying. I do maintain that Settle is one of the better sweepers you can run in a very board-based deck, since it doesn't really affect your board when everything is done correctly. Kudro actually allows us to block, right? I think. Embercleave, get out of here. Okay, we can block, but we can't cast the Dire Tactics, which isn't great. Let's see, they have 1 Atarka's Command. So they have another, probably 3 of them, as you should. Is that is kind of where that card kind of does well in. Christ, it's not good. Attacks with the whole crew here. That's great. Gonna let the 4 through. If we die, we die. Atarka's Command? Wouldn't surprise me. Okay, that's okay still, because it kills their creature land. Okay. Even though we can't target the friggin' oh god, it sucks. Just because of the Bone Crusher punish effect. Okay, well now we have to. Okay, so it doesn't really matter, does it? I think we just need to do it now. There's no way this doesn't suck. It has to just be sad. Okay, that's something. I guess the Tarkus command can get out of there. I think we can attack, I believe. Oh god, we're at 1 life. Where's that Sphinx's Revelation when you need it? Yeah, that was kind of to be expected. We're gonna try and avoid... God. Attacking into that if we can manage. Okay, Veseju. On top deck mode. You know what doesn't help? A goddamn land. What do I even do here? I don't really want to give up this whole board. We're kind of running out of options. Destroy target creature or enchantment. Okay, maybe they'll play a creature on their first main and give me... they probably won't. Because it does have Trample with the Embercleave, that's right. I really, really hate this, it has to be said. Is this spell or ability? Okay, it's just spell. I really don't like having to do this, but if we don't, we die. If they have some sort of heroic intervention style effect, then we're just doomed. Okay, if you have the Stomp or the Atarkus command, don't be rude about it. Just in the game. Because they're holding on to something. It's giving them priority. Just don't know for what. Look at their end. See if they play anything else. Don't really have the luxury of trying to be cute at 1 life, since we're awfully close to dying. Oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, I guess good game. Sometimes you just happen to run dry. Ah! Fuck. Yeah. To be fair, we were actually pretty close. Now, game 1, we were in some trouble, but I was okay with that game 2. We'll go on now to proper game number 2. And game number 2 with our little Esper human hero list. I'll see what our opponent does. Hopefully they're here. There we go. 2 landers, things to do, interaction. Yeah, I'll go ahead and keep it. Again, it's not the most interesting in the world, but it'll do. Okay, a Charm Stray. As a cat dad myself, I do enjoy a cat. Is it lifelink? Is it actual cat tribal? Alright, alright. A couple Charm Strays. I'm not certain what the deck is yet, but I do enjoy me somebody who's committed to the deck. Alright, another Charm Stray. Mono white, I guess, maybe? Yeah, we're not, well, okay, we don't have to. We can always do it like this. That's fine. We can always Mortify in response if they attack with their whole board. The ensuing 1/1s to be made from the hero will help us sort of chump block while we determine what their deck is trying to do. I'll take that. I'm happy if you're gonna give up cards. Admittedly, that's a little frustrating, for lack of a better word. We'll go ahead. Actually, you know what? We're gonna keep the tower so we can turn it into card draw later. We'll go ahead and attack and see if we can... Okay, no, they just take it. I'm gonna say trick them into trading something weird. Again, we maintain interaction, so we don't gotta worry too much about that. To be honest, if our opponent doesn't do anything with their turn, we might end step just to kill their Daxos, as that's gonna pad out their game. They might be some sort of budget mono-white Soul Sister life-gainy type of list, which is totally fine. You don't need a whole lot to make that deck work. Now, of course, you know, if you have access to more resources, as much as my eyes glaze over with mono-white Soul Sisters, it's a very good, like, budget-friendly deck, so I can't give a person who wants to do that too much shit, you know? Okay, Maestro's Charm is actually kind of good. I think we're gonna Watery Grave, play a Thalia as Lieutenant, buffing our whole board. And this way we can maintain our interactive spells. Pardon my slurring. Opponent goes to block, correctly chump blocks the largest thing. To be fair, I think they're missing land drops, so I do feel a little bit bad, but I'm not gonna not take a win, to be fair. I still need to get my 4 daily wins to get my money for the day. I think we can kind of just go with a settle here. They didn't appear to have many non-creatures. Dovins can come out. We'll keep maybe... nah, we'll go ahead. We get a singles Kaya's Wrath in here and see what our opponent wants to run here. Since they appear to be more board-based, I feel relatively safe taking out the Dovin's Veto. Admittedly, they could have all kinds of non-creature shenaniganery, and we could be totally boner zoned, for lack of a better word. Let's see what our opponent might... I mean, to be fair, they might also bring in some sorts of sweepers. Wouldn't be the worst call on their part, but we still do have things like the Maestro's Charm and Meddling Mage. The only problem with the Meddling Mage are... Hey, there's the rain. I knew it was supposed to rain today. The only problem on our end with trying to Meddling Mage a sweeper is that it appears that our opponent is running a budget list. So they could be running any one of the countless other, not Wrath of God, but functions as a Wrath of God. One of the many other white sweepers that might generally sort of gum up our plans here. I think we'll be okay, has to be said. I think we'll be fine. It's not like it's like a real problem or anything. Just more of a thing to remark upon. Opponent should, of course, go first if they have a brain in their skull, which they appear to. They made very good plays that last game. Oh, it's a one-lander. Even I'm not that greedy. Another one-lander. A non-one-lander, so we have to keep it. The question is, what do we get rid of? I don't want to get rid of Meddling Mage, but I think we have to. You can actually Meddling Mage stays. Absence can go. Void Rend can go. Maybe the regular planes can go and the Absence can go. Try and keep some of the multicolored spells so we can try and build up a board here. And to be fair, our opponent's done a good thing. I'm thinking in this case we might name something like a Johnny's Pride Mate, if he doesn't already play it. It's good, he didn't. Still play the hero. If we need to, we can shock on turn 3 and Void Rend away a Johnny's Pride Mate. Hopefully. Ah, crap! It's fine, it's fine. We'll play the Triome, since our mana is a little sketchy. We're still gonna Meddling Mage naming a Pride Mate. Johnny's Pride Mate. Pride Mate, pardon. Except the fact that they're gonna attack with a speaker and things are gonna get big. If we can keep the Void Rend for some sort of Banishing Light, Oblivion Ring style effect, that would be great. Let's recat. Okay, alright. Gains indestructible. That's kind of friggin' brutal. You block you. Kinda doesn't matter a whole lot, as we said. I think that Void Rend needs to get rid of the Bo3 cat. Again, not great, I know. But that will put his board out of range of most of my things. I don't mind chumping and taking some more hits with the speaker. He has to get to 27 to turn the speaker online anyway. It's not great. Again, it has to be said, I don't like it. If we could draw a land, an untapped land, and have access to Kudro and Dire Tactic next turn, that would be, like, the best. Get the fuck out of here, I called it. It could be a curse being right sometimes. To be fair, that is a good one. Like you said. A little bit of a sniffle. Oh man, that sucks. I really hate that, but I think we have to block with it. Yeah, you get the thing. So we could do Lieutenant, and then Dire Tactics away their Pride Mate, and just, I guess, hope they don't hit another one at this rate. We're gonna not attack so we can block their Speaker of the Heavens. Our opponent could have another Prison Realm, and that would be a problem. Do have a Kudro Drannith next turn, which is kind of nice. We can also start chipping away at their graveyard, because I know a lot of these decks will run Cleric class, which is honestly a pretty good card for this deck, it has to be said. See what our opponent does. If they attack with a speaker on its own, we just block with the token, and just hope, against all hope really, that they can't kill it. Oh, come on opponent, don't leave. You can totally win this. You 100% can win this. You got this. You can totally... Aww. I mean, I get it. Life comes up. And I've had to walk away from games from, like, for, you know, bathroom breaks and stuff like that. But I hope they stay. Because they're totally in this. I was right! One of the 1,000,001 little, white sweepers that exist in the format. Anywho, getting rid of all their creatures, since those are the ones that a cleric class can bring back. You might be able to bring back planeswalkers, but I don't remember. If they have another sweeper, they're probably going to wait for at least a 2-for-1. You don't really want to do a 1-for-1 with a sweeper if you can avoid it. That would be, that's kind of good. I'll take that. Come back into play. We can go ahead and exile their other one. If they have another sweeper, they're going to use it now. And argue, you know, as they should, to be fair. Another Thalia. Okay, Thalia Lieutenant. It'll work. Just going to start eating away at their... To be fair, I understand why they scooped at that point. Because we had basically turned the corner. But I still really think they had a couple of turns in them. But I understand why they did. But that was our little Esper Hero Human list. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like the video if you liked it. And sub if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. If you have any sort of questions like budget replacements or any sort of constructive criticism, then that's what comments are for down below. And remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.